Right, yes, guys, this is Raheem for Be Real Boxing. I'm here with Adam Smith. How you doing, Adam?
I'm very good, thank you. Yes, very good.
Thanks. All right, so Birmingham is finally at the map on boxing again with Matchroom Promotion. How is it to have boxing back in Birmingham?
I'm really excited about coming back to Birmingham. When I was a youngster at Sky in the early days, we used to come to the Aston Villa Leisure Centre a lot with the McCrackens, and it was a real sort of good vibe in Birmingham back then. But then, it sort of went quiet, and the areas moved to Manchester, to Sheffield, to Liverpool of recent times, and I think that and also to Scotland and Glasgow became big, but Birmingham got left out. And I think that we came here for Frankie. I was just laughing about it, for Frankie's debut, and we've only been back once for another Frank Warren show, The Magnificent Seven, and that was, I think, some four and a half years ago. So really delighted to be back in Birmingham. I've been banging on to Eddie for a while now. Go to Leeds, go to Birmingham. He went to Leeds. He reaped the rewards with Josh Warrington, who's got a terrific fan base there. And I said, come to Birmingham. And I think he was waiting for enough of a pack to put on a big card. And he knew Macklin was around. He knew your fights were starting to come through. But you add Eggington, who's had a great last 6 months, and of course you add Frankie Gavin to the mix, and you've got a star-studded night. And I think it'll be a terrific night in May. And I'm delighted to be back here. And I hope it's one of many.
After the May 9th card, do you believe that Eddie will bring boxing always back to Birmingham, probably about 3 times a year?
Listen, I think it's all about the vibe, the momentum, the fighters you've got around. John Pegg, very underrated trainer, who's getting a really good stable of fighters, and they're all flying. And I think when you've got something like that, and you've got an area, other trainers coming in, you've got ticket sellers, that's what you need to get the buzz going. It's like a sleeping giant, Birmingham. I know it's a fight city because I remember it as a fight city. That doesn't go away. It's just been rumbling, and it's needed to come out again. And I think it will come out. I think we'll come in May. Hope we come back in September. And I think if we build that, it will be a regular venue.
All right, so Manny Pacquiao and Amir Khan were in London as Sky Sports were there. Do you believe the Amir Khan and Manny Pacquiao fight will happen?
Maybe. I know that they both want the fight. So, as you know, there's a lot of politics involved. There's
Bob Arrowman.
Well, there's promoters, there's different promoters, different sides, different agendas, money, sites, TV, all of that. Do Manny Pacquiao and Amir Khan want to fight at some point? Yes. They'll put their friendship aside. They were stablemates, as you know, for a long time. I think it's a fight that is an electric fight, actually, and I'd love to see it happen. And the feeling I got being around them is that it's a fight that, if Mayweather-Pacquiao doesn't happen, could happen in the near future. Having said that, Pacquiao may have other plans if the Mayweather fight doesn't come off, but I think he'd like to fight Amir Khan, and I think Khan would like to fight either Pacquiao or Mayweather. Of course, if Mayweather-Pacquiao happens, that's the fight the world wants to see, so Khan's got to think of something else.
A lot of talk that Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather will not happen. It would be Floyd Mayweather and Cotto. What are your thoughts on that?
I thought it would be Mayweather-Cotto since we first started talking about who Mayweather's opponent would be after Maidana. Reason being, Cotto's come back. He's beaten him before. It's a 6 weight. He sells in Puerto Rico. It's a great pay-per-view fight for the States. But of course, it's not Mayweather-Pacquiao. And Mayweather-Pacquiao is the fight the world wants to see. The way Floyd has conducted his business in the last couple of years, most people are thinking it will be Mayweather-Cotto. I'm just hoping, as the fan in me, as the fan out there, wants to see Mayweather-Pacquiao. I think if it doesn't happen now, it probably won't. I'd like to see it happen in May and a rematch in September, and I think boxing will really benefit from it. Don't hold your breath, but I think that it will be announced on Super Bowl weekend. That's what Mayweather tends to do. Will it be Cotto? Will it be Pacquiao? I can't give you the answer, but I know what I want.
A lot of people say that Floyd Mayweather is scared of the speed that Manny Pacquiao and Amir Khan bring to the table. Do you believe he is that?
I don't think Floyd Mayweather's scared of anyone. I think that Floyd Mayweather may be deep down believing he's not quite what he was. He's had a couple of struggles of late, especially that first fight with Maidana. He's getting older and the reflexes do slow a little bit. I don't think he's scared of anyone. I mean, Floyd Mayweather's fought everybody. I think he's been the greatest technical boxer since Sugar Ray Leonard. I think he's been wonderful for the sport. He hasn't fought Pacquiao because he's controlled the situation. Now, would I like him to see him fight Pacquiao? Yes. Do I think he beats Pacquiao? I've always thought Mayweather would have the better of Pacquiao. until the last 6 months, when I think that maybe it would be more of a fight now, because if Mayweather slowed slightly and Pacquiao still brings that speed and aggression, it'll be interesting. I still probably would side with Mayweather. Khan and Mayweather, Khan gives him problems for a few rounds, but again, you've probably got to fancy Mayweather down the stretch. Pacquiao, Khan's fascinating. I want to see Khan Brook, but these are all fights that have got to be made. It's not easy, but hopefully the fans will get 2 or 3 of them this year. That's what we want to see.
Also, I was watching a Mayweather documentary, and he said when I fought Oscar De La Hoya was in control of the situation. Now I'm in control of the situation, so everyone should wait on me. What do you have to say about that?
Listen, he is still the money man, isn't he? He still is the king of boxing at the moment, because he's unbeaten and he's the best, and you can't take that away from him, Yeah, he doesn't knock everybody out. His style is not everyone's cup of tea. Certainly his attitude at times is not everyone's cup of tea. But I think that Floyd Mayweather has been phenomenal for boxing. I don't think he owes anybody anything. Just like I don't think Carl Froch owes anybody anything. Well, when people say, why is Froch not fighting DeGale? Or, I think sometimes, you get to a position where you can pick and choose a bit. But I think also the fact that if he does retire without fighting Pacquiao, it will always be said that, he didn't take that. I think with Carl Froch against George Groves, I think he was, after that fight, I'm not sure Carl really desperately deep down wanted to go through that again, but he did. And I think that if he hadn't fought George again, I think he would have always retired thinking, why didn't you fight? There was a lot of public pressure on that, and Carl took the fight. I hope that Mayweather will take the Pacquiao fight and bow to public pressure, because I think he'll be remembered more of a great by taking the fight than he will be if he doesn't.
So if the Manny Pacquiao, Amir Khan, or Amir Khan, Floyd Mayweather, and Amir Khan and Mayweather happens, will we see it on Sky Box Office?
Fingers crossed. I hope so. I hope we bring all the big fights this year. We don't know. Let's get it over the line first. It's not to do with us. The promoters make the matches. The lawyers, the Al Haymans of the world, they announce the fights, and then hopefully we can do a broadcast deal. But I would love to see Mayweather Pacquiao on Sky. I would love to see Khan Pacquiao. I would like to see Mayweather Khan Brook, Quigg Frampton, Froch against the list is endless. It's great times for boxing. We can't have everything, but I'd like to see the big fights on Sky.
5 years ago, we didn't see boxing at this kind of level before. How has it changed in the last 5 years?
I think it's changed massively, hasn't it? And I think the casuals have come back into boxing. You remember the era back, on ITV and with and BBC, ITV era with the likes of Ben and Eubank and all that. That came back a bit with Froch and Groves, and now DeGale coming in. The super middleweights started to come back. I think Froch Groves too was a game changer. Wembley, 80,000. People there that weren't fight fans, people there just there for a night out. You've seen how darts has come up and they're packing the arenas out. I think boxing now has done the same sort of thing, making the nights more attractive, making the matches better, bringing the fans out, like to Birmingham, across the UK, into the cities like Leeds and Manchester. I think it's great, and I think boxing's in a fantastic place. Big fights are being made. There's a huge amount of talent coming through. Carl Frampton, we just found out, is going to be on ITV. Terrestrial television back in. I mean, it means boxing's in a big place, and we at Sky want to be a major part of that.
Also, Murray and Golovkin as well. What are your thoughts on that fight, being on terrestrial TV, Channel 5?
Yeah, Channel 5 that night. We're on with Paul Smith the same night against Arthur Abraham. It's only good for boxing, with the competition between the channels. More boxing on television, more boxing for the public. It's as simple as that. Golovkin-Murray's a good match. Golovkin is obviously one of the great pound-for-pound fighters in the world at the moment. He looks like he doesn't have a chink in the armour. If anyone can stand up to him, it's Martin Murray. He's tough, he's strong. He's been in with Martinez 12 rounds. He's been in with Sturm 12 rounds. It's a very, very tough ask. I think he'll hang around. I think it'll be tougher than people think, but I still fancy Golovkin. Even though Martin's a great guy, he's a friend of mine, you've got to go with what's proven, but it would not surprise me if Murray can somehow last into the latter rounds, and who knows then, but it's going to be hard.
Could we see Carl Froch versus Golovkin in the summer?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be a wonderful fight? Couldn't you just put a load of these names in a hat and just come out with, what about, we don't talk the heavyweights or the super bantamweights, Quigg, Frampton.
Welterweights as well.
Welterweights, there's any number of them, now with Frankie Gavin and Kell Brook, and, the division, the super middleweights is absolutely buzzing. There's a whole sort of load of them there, and I think that Froch Golovkin, if Golovkin stepped up, would be fantastic. Does Carl really want that? Does he really need that? Does he really have to go through something like that at this stage in his career? I don't know. But of course, it's a fight we'd all love to see.
Pushing boxing aside, how is it working with Johnny Nelson?
I love Johnny Nelson. You know, I've known Johnny for 20 odd years. You know, I worked with him when he was coming back from exile and winning fights in Britain again, British, Commonwealth, European, all that. He went through that. He won his world title fight. I said to him, if you win that world title fight against Carl Thompson, you're made for television, because you've been through all the problems, all the ups, the downs, the freezing on world title fights, all of that, and you've come to a point where you've reinvented yourself and you become a world champion. So you'll be able to adapt to anybody. Johnny has no ego. He's great with the kids. He's great with the superstars. You know, he's a terrific guy to work alongside, because he's got a great work ethic. You know, he loves to be involved. He adores his job, and it's a pleasure. And we get on really well, both on and off set. And I think that's very important. He's I can't praise him enough. He's a terrific guy. And who knows? Maybe he'll fight again.
It's Marcus Hook.
Maybe let's leave it at that.
All right.
Against Marco Hook. Who knows? We'll see.
All right, thank you for giving your time to Be Real Boxing.